Happening right now, a busy day in Hartford as lawmakers and state employees go head-to-head over pensions and benefits. Those hearings expected to go all day long. News 8's Ken Pierce live in News 8 Control this midday, keeping an eye on all of it for us. Ken, what's the latest?
Keith, 2 press conferences about states' workers' rights just wrapped up. A protest is planned for this afternoon at the Capitol building, and we're monitoring the feed from the Legislative Office building in Hartford, too. All day long, the Appropriations Committee is going to be hearing testimony on bills that could have a major impact on state workers' salaries, benefits, pensions, too. One of the press conferences this morning called these bills an attack on nurses, teachers, and firefighters. There's a lot of rhetoric like that on both sides. Workers talking about cuts to benefits and pensions as an attack on the hardworking middle class. Those in favor of cuts pointing out exorbitant numbers, like a police sergeant making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, or a retired state worker still pulling in more than $300,000 a year in overtime. Everybody knows the state is facing a major fiscal crisis, but they have different views on how to solve that crisis. You'll hear from a Republican senator in just a minute, but first, this is how a union leader characterizes some of these bills.
Attempt to destroy unions, to take the problem with the budget and try to make that into something that's bigger than it actually is, and try to say, well, if we fix the pension problem, that'll solve all the problems, whereas it doesn't do any of that sort.
We don't want layoffs. You know, we want to preserve jobs. We want to make sure that young people can start work here for the state of Connecticut and enjoy a long career that includes benefits, but benefits that are more in line with the private sector and not just the same old that we've seen for 20 or 30 years.
With unions have saved the state hundreds of millions of dollars in the past by changing something as small as the co-pays for doctor visits and prescription drugs. Unions point out that there is money that can be saved through better planning that reduces overtime, and that better planning could have also funded state pensions adequately in the past. Well, today is just one of the opening volleys in the process, really. They have until the end of June to put together a 2-year budget. The thing is, the Republicans have a louder voice in the legislature than they have for years, and so this could be a much more contentious budget than we've seen in years. Live in News 8 Control, I'm Kent Pierce.